Okay, welcome back, Gaylords. Today I'm going to essentially do my last little hour round of the table. And again, at the end of the day, the goal of this isn't to draw a perfect table and get the proportions down. It's just to really get into the practice of visualizing um, a box, right? And then visualizing specifically items in relation to that box, right? Calculating whether it be in my mind or on the paper or a combination of both. And improve that ability. So, with that being said, again, there will be a lot more moments of silence because I was very quiet when I was doing this, and it ended up being pretty okay, right? So, I obviously need to focus a lot. And with that being said, let's begin. I guess I can explain what I plan to do, so at the very least, you can follow along with what I'm thinking. So, right now, I'm thinking of a plane something like this, right? And let's just say it's an even plane. And it's not perfect in my mind, but I'm trying to visualize it to the best of my ability, and ghosting helps, right? And then, what am I doing? I am calculating where one unit, let's say this is the front, this is the back, right? So one unit, roughly, where would that be? And you also have to remember, I don't just have a plane. I guess before I have the plane, I should focus on having an entire box, right? So, kind of looks fucking retarded, to be honest. What would that look like? Ah, there you go. So I have a more clear idea in my head of what this box looks like. The ghosting really helps. It really, really helps. And then now we can, because we want it to go inwards here. So what would that be? Be something like this. Now remember, the difficult thing isn't just keeping that plane in mind. It's keeping the plane and what you're visualizing in mind while you draw it. Right? That is the really difficult thing. So if I were to keep it here, this one is 1, and this one is 2, right? And with that being said, this should be something roughly like that. Actually, this should have been much larger. Yeah, let's just make this a bigger circle. There you go. There you go. That makes a lot more sense now. And again, trying to keep that box in mind, right? It is supposedly a perfect box that I'm trying to make. With that being said, visualizing it and drawing it, two different skill sets. 100% two different skill sets that need both to be applied at the same time, right? Something like that. But that's just the beginning. That doesn't mean I've suddenly lost uh, visualizing the actual box itself, right? And I'm trying to utilize a little bit of foreshortening here. We make it, if we just focus on making this a bit longer, actually. Right? And I'm going to focus on making it the inside of the box as well. Okay, and then we have something like that, and this as well. If I really focus on the inside of the box, it should be something like this. Cool. That's a bit better, I think. And now we just need to expand the box outwards. and make the ellipse. Which again, none of this is perfect, but I think it's okay. Okay, so let's actually draw that box now. I actually have a feeling I got quite a few things wrong, but that's where we learn, right? It's all about keeping that. So actually, yeah, this should have been much farther back. See, because this is technically roughly 2 units, but this should have been further back. So this should have been more like this. Wider, but then again, something like that. Very, very subtle difference, I'll be honest. This one probably should have been more like this. Right, maybe. I think this was okay. It's not too bad. Still working on it. But let's try again. Again, at the end of the day, all I'm really trying to do is visualize. That's the primary goal. For all of this is just to visualize the shapes and the relation of those shapes, right? And this is great because it forces me to think about angles. So, and again, the first step, not the first, but I think if once I can start visualizing literally just the box, right, as I need to, because that's the whole point is, because this is, yeah, this is off, right? So this should have been more in here. This should have been more down here. Ah, that's what's missing. Yeah, these are kind of rough, but this is way too. Yeah, this should be much longer, and thus the circle in of itself should have been much smaller, right? The ellipse should be much smaller, something like that. But that's what I'm gonna work towards, is just really visualizing the box. Because if I can see a box in any orientation very, very clearly, then everything surrounding it should also come a bit easier. So let's try that again. I'm gonna be quiet right now because I'm gonna focus. So feel free to listen to the Chainsaw Man music and keep me on in the background and give me views, right? And by feel free, I demand of it. I demand you of it. I demand you of it. I said that articulately. Do not mind. Okay, let's see. I mean, okay, let's see. Because, my murmuring. Good. Bit of a fucked up cylinder, but my life is fucked up, so it's okay. Again, the lines are a bit off, but it's alright. It's all right. It's not bad. But again, some things are just off. This, this. Yeah, that should have been much farther. This, yeah, these should have been much further because I was thinking. So this should be way back here, and this should actually have been around here. That's 1 unit. And this probably should have, yeah, this should have been more down here. Let me. Oh wow, this should have been way more too. Way deeper. Think about this. Well, it's getting there. It's not bad actually, considering I'm already at a point where I can roughly do this in my mind, and I think it is looking slightly cleaner, which is what matters. So let me take a break, drink some water, utilize that there spicing a bit. So. I mean, to be honest, while I rest my brain, let me stimulate my brain by seeing if my YouTube videos are being scheduled. Nice, processing will begin shortly. Hope it doesn't get any errors, because that happens every now and then. I love my thumbnails, they're so fucking retarded. I love this shit. Okay. I'm excited. I actually, let's pick what the next thing I'm gonna draw, because he said 2 household items, and I spammed the shit out of this household item over the course of 4 hours, which I'm sure it was the 100% was, which I'm 100% sure was the intent. And I obviously just ended up doing this, and I didn't do the sphere as well. But hey, I think bending boxes. Oh, that shit's coming up in like 2 months. I should practice that more then. And what else? Okay, this one's pretty good. Some filtration shit. Ooh, this looks pretty fucking complicated. But it will be my task to break it down into, and it's nice because this reference has 2 different angles that I could do it from. So actually not bad, and I'll do it from the angle which has a bit more of a 3-point perspective. But okay, that's actually pretty fucking cool. Device. Yeah, I'll draw that next. Okay, well, let's get back to this now first. Okay. Again, imagining the box. That's the biggest thing right now, is to imagine a box, right? If I can imagine the box as accurately as possible, then I can, again, add things in relation to it. Right? It's like when I had to imagine just a plane, and then I was able to do this. Right? And then I was able to imagine the box behind it, and then I was able to do this. Ta-da, we have a cylinder. Right, but that took a lot of effort. And now I can do it pretty conveniently. I think the same thing goes for this over here, right? I think the same thing goes for this. This is a bit more difficult because I'm drawing things outside of it now. I'm not just doing a giant cylinder. I'm doing things in different orientations that are still cylinders, but surrounding it and converging back to a specific point. So a few extra skills. And again, these are all different skills. I think I'll keep iterating it whether people realize or not, but beginners, especially when it comes to art, people for some reason seem to overlook the fact that every new thing you do in art, if you haven't practiced it before, it's a new skill, right? If I haven't practiced doing a line like this, going like that, and then doing it in a different orientation like this, then that's a skill I'm practicing, right? If I haven't fucking practiced, I don't know, turning this 3D and going like this, which I actually haven't practiced that much, but if I haven't practiced this, right, and then doing it again here, that's gonna be very difficult. Again, this is a shit example because it's so tiny, but I think the point stands, the fact that if I haven't practiced something, if you haven't practiced something, I say I in the general sense, but if someone hasn't practiced something, it is a new skill that they are practicing. I think it's very, very, very fucking self-explanatory, but somehow we seem to overlook that when it comes to art. That doesn't. The thing is, these skills build on top of each other. The reason I can even try doing something like this now is because I did a lot of imagining this before, right? Just the plane. Like that's why I start with the plane. But the next step is to imagine the entire thing, right? The next two steps are to imagine this, and then to visualize this, right? To literally visualize it converging back, and that will 100% transfer over to when I want to create my own designs, because it's all about thinking ahead, right? It's all about thinking ahead. Like, yeah, that looks wonky, whatever, but the point I'm trying to make is that it's all about building additional skill sets on top of the previously learned or established skill. That's what I mean. No. Good old Dragon Ball Z abridged reference, which in my opinion has become my canon, to be honest. Fucking Toei, you guys can suck a dick. Fucking copyright striking. Poor Team 4-star, my babies. But, alright, let's go. Okay, I already did this angle, might as well do something more difficult. Okay. And again, another skill is I haven't practiced visualizing a much larger box as well, right? So that's another thing. Is to zoom out and really visualize the larger box. I've already made a mistake, which I can recognize, which is good. Okay, let's see how that goes, because I'm not done. So this was incorrect. Okay. This should have been foreshortened more, I like to think. And this line is wobbly as fuck, because as you might not be able to see, but this pink hair is resting on this, so I guess that's another skill I can work on, is even with my pinky resting on that shit, drawing straight lines. Right? That's alright. Perspective's a bit off. Then again, that is what I'm practicing. Whee! That's good. Something like this? Yeah, I think the box I was imagining was something like that. So yeah, this one, that's two, right? And I was trying to go all the way back here. So as you can see, it ended up being a bit off because I ended up thinking that it was like this, but then that wouldn't have made sense with this. I was thinking it was starting from here. But hey, it's a good start. It's definitely a good start. I'm happy in the direction I'm going. That was so difficult to say. Yeah, I thought as artists we're just supposed to be fucking hating everything we do. Oh my god. I think I'm bringing shame to the artist family. Hmm. I want to do something here. But can I? Is there enough space? Maybe I can just practice two legs. Sure, might as well. Or maybe I can do the entire thing. Okay, that's the legs. Ugh, that was a fuck up. It's alright, actually. This is actually supposed to be like that in terms of perspective. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, this is slightly wrong, but fuck my pen every goddamn time the cap. Pain. Really excited to gym today. On another note, but let me, I guess, point out the box I was trying to think of. It was something like this, this, yeah, like that. It was like this, basically, right? So this should have been further back. This was okay. This was okay. But now, if we're trying to bring it back here, oh wait, no, sorry, it was supposed to be like this. Just trying to. Yeah, you see, so it should have been much smaller. There should have been more foreshortening. Smiley face, but it's crying because I should have done more. Okay, let us rest my brain. But this is pretty fucking good, in my opinion. It's a good practice, that's for sure. And I really grinded my brain there. Let's see if my video is starting to process. What? It is. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's processing power. Cool. I guess Antonio also mentioned to render, right? So I guess let me render some of these. Just follow the curve, right? It's actually very difficult to do fine liner rendering with a brush pen, as you can imagine. But I feel as if this is just a good practice in my brush pen control, right? Because the whole goal at the end of the day for me is no matter the angle, no matter where my hand is from the page, I will have perfect lines. And that'll obviously take a very long time. And there's a lot of artists who have gotten much more proficient than this pen than I have. But then again, they probably practice their lines more, practice more intentionally, right? Lots of, or they're just better. Some people are literally just smarter, and that's something I've accepted as well, is the fact that they'll understand things. They literally have more processing power in their brain, right? That's also a huge thing that I've just come to understand, is the fact that you cannot be like everyone. You can only be yourself. We can take inspiration and obviously emulate what they do, but even the emulation will simply be your iteration of that emulation. And that is completely fine. It's funny, once you add rendering like this, the errors don't seem as notable. Even though to me, they're still obviously very glaring. The excess of lines almost seems to cover up the mistakes. Right? Like, yeah, you can obviously still see that it's a bit fucky here, blah, blah, blah. But I guess, and then Antonio usually adds like, is that like fucking shadow around it or something? I don't fucking know. I don't know how light works yet. this is not gonna work out. Okay, cool. I guess I rendered that. I guess let me try rendering this in a different way. What does he do? You can also do long lines to render. course, honestly, this is just really good line practice. You know what I mean? And look at that, this angle is so hard for me to do. If you see the way my fingers are positioned, those of you who draw might know that this is, or at least maybe it is for you. Look at that shit, bro. I keep fucking skipping lines. And that one ended up becoming unnecessarily thick. Let's see, and then he would do something like this. How much time do I have? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I still have half an hour. Nice. There you go. I guess let me do this one as well. You know, honestly, the gaps, although they're completely unintentional, do add a nice visual effect, even though I'm literally not trying to do them at all. Like the gaps you see are just me fucking up the line, unable to create a continuous line. But if they add a nice effect, so be it. I'm not going to judge myself too harshly. Cool. I feel that this feels incomplete almost. There you go. Okay, I guess I rendered two of them. Let me try rendering, I guess, this one in a new way. What other ways could you render? If I could do this. It is good rendering practice. You are right, Mr. Artwod. I'm very well aware I fucked this up in terms of the evenness. Now this direction for me, going upwards with the tiny lines, is extremely difficult because it takes such fine motor control, which I'm still working on. Ends up kind of just looking like dots. Now let's try it from the bottom up. This isn't bad. I mean, it gives me ideas for textures as well to use when it comes to these tables, right? If and when I decide to add textures. And then, I don't know, maybe I could just do something like, let's choose a different difficult angle. A part of me just wants to say fuck the rendering and go back to doing the actual really difficult stuff, like visualizing the perspective. But I mean, if this is a skill I'm going to work on building anyways, why not just work on building it right now, right? But you can see it's already kind of converging a little bit. Completely accidental too, but clearly intuitive. Okay, I guess I rendered 3 of them. That should be fine. Perfectionist in me wants to render the other one as well, but let's focus on actually building my spatial reasoning, why don't we? Okay, so I did this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle. It's another angle. We could do this, sort of just... okay, cool. Yep, that's kind of wrong. But oh, I mean, that's actually not bad. That's that's not bad at all that thinking definitely coming in play. And to make it, again, to outline the box I was thinking of, it was this. It's like, so technically this should be a lot more dense. It should be like this. Yeah, because I was trying to think of something that's more wide angle. Right, obviously maybe this should have been further down. This is okay. This is okay. This is even okay. Mainly just this should have been more here. Right. Something like that. But it's not bad. I think it's okay. Some might even say it's decent. I would personally say it's pretty okay slash decent. See, I'm specifically trying to use positive language because usually I would have said I would say it's absolute trash, but then I would actually think it's absolute trash, and that is not conducive to a growth-oriented mindset, which I am trying to foster. So, okay, still got 20 minutes. Noise. Drink some water. Okay. What's another? Okay, it isn't frame. So what's another angle I can do? These have all These have all been pretty great. Why don't we do something like, again, just a more extreme angle, really visualize it. The perspective for this is off, so I'm gonna have to change it a little bit. Okay, I guess that's okay. Let's think. Okay, that's getting a bit better. I would like to think, at the very least. Okay, let's see. I also got a fucking song stuck in my head, which never helps when it comes to focus. It's like that. Yeah. Okay, so I should be converging a lot more. Makes sense that the other side would be converging a lot more. That's something to keep in mind. Yeah, the other side should be converging a lot more, so this should have been like this. Same thing here, this should have been like that. Yeah, see? If I did it like that. Oh shit, am I in the way of the camera? My head was like kind of. My head was like right here. Okay, you can't see my camera, so it's fine. Yeah, you can't see it, so that's good. So yes, that is more accurate. I mean, I should probably outline this so it's easier to see. Okay. It is getting better, for sure. Like, for fucking sure, it's getting better. It's not bad. If you're all wondering what song I stuck in my head, I have stuck in my head. It's the song called Ivani Nandini, which is essentially a Tamil prayer. Well, it's a Sanskrit prayer, I'm pretty sure, but you know, or Hindu, right? It's very very common. I think it's literally like the most common prayer we have. I'm pretty sure it's a Hindu prayer, but this guy Broda V. Funny enough, he has my name, but your boy, he's actually he's my alter ego. Um, we put out a song called Ivani Nandini, and the rap is really good, and it makes me feel so ethnic. I love that shit. I'm a brown guy, so yeah, it's really good, and it's been stuck in my head, which is nice, but it's not nice when I'm trying to fucking focus on the proportions. Okay, I have 15 minutes. Yeah, let's just keep going. I guess I can try this again, because at the end of the day, this is, I guess, the goal, right? This table. Oh wait, shit. Did I fuck that up? Hold up. Let's just pretend that line doesn't exist. Okay, so. Okay. Okay. Now I gotta do this line. Well, another thing I've noted is with Kim Jong-il specifically, he does not give a shit if his lines are inaccurate. For him, if you see his quote unquote sketches, and they technically are sketches, his ability is just so refined that to the common eye they might as well be full illustrations. But As you'll note, his lines are not perfect, not everything is rendered 10 out of 10, but it's just his understanding and application of, in my opinion, from what I understand, three things, right? His application understanding are absolutely masterful in these three primary things, with obviously an extreme high level of skill and a bunch of others that are complementary to art. And the three primary things are perspective, or sorry, line, perspective, and shadows. He understands that shit to a next level degree, which is yeah, which is okay. Now that I can see this, which is really what sets him apart, in my opinion. Right? Obviously, his composition is amazing. Obviously, his visual library is also astonishing, whatever. But it's those three things which is essentially min-maxed on. And I make it sound as I'm not undermining his skill, by the way. I know I'm making it sound as if it's just those three things. No, those three things take a lifetime. But hey, I'm willing and excited to spend that lifetime. So what's stopping me? Absolutely nothing, right? The fuck? Oh god, it's like fuck. God damn it. So you don't see this? Yeah, I guess you don't see it. Cause it's. I mean, technically, maybe you see a little bit, right? And there it is. Is it still shit? I don't know. This is off. This should have been more like this. Right. Is the answer, is it still shit? It seems like I've made no progress when we look at it like this. So maybe I just need to practice it more from this angle, right? I've been practicing mostly from the underside, which I've really gotten down. So let's practice from the top side as well. Topsy-turvy, as they say. Alright, cool. And I also have to remember that I'm making the top of the table so much smaller when it comes to this angle as well. So the lines need to be a lot smaller too. Okay. Yeah, no, Kim Jong-il is definitely mastered art. I saw this comment which really fucking pissed me off. Is this dipshit on YouTube being like, his art is all performative. He's like, he's not a real master. And it was one of those hidden comments in the sense that it's just some random fucking comment you see in a thread where mostly everybody's jerking off Master Kim Jong-il, myself included. But it really fucking annoyed me because I was like, bro, just if you don't have the skill, don't talk, because you just don't understand the amount of effort and the genius. Like that's one of my friends said that too, right? He's like, I don't really understand, because when I was raving about Kim Jong-il to him, he's like, I don't really get it. He's like, it's nice, but it's nothing exceptional. And I was like, I was just told him like, bro, it's not even be too offensive, but you just cannot comprehend his genius, right? And by genius, I mean you can't comprehend the amount of time he's put into achieving that level of genius, that level of artistic skill. You just cannot comprehend it. So don't talk. If you can't comprehend, just shut the fuck up. Because clearly you will never understand. At least I can't say never, but you just aren't the type of person who will actually appreciate and understand his genius, right? And his art in of itself, like, there are so many people who have documented their journey at this point. Myself being one of them, by the way. Let it be known, I 100% and wholeheartedly and confidently state, 20 to 30 years from now, you will revere me well, maybe not to the level of Kim Jong-il, but you'll all definitely revere me and say, wow, he's a fucking modern master or whatever bullshit. But the thing is, by the time I get to that point, that level of skill won't even be that novel anymore or shocking. It'd just be like, oh shit, okay, like he's also another one. But being just another one of them means I can do a lot, and there's a lot I can do with practicing that. There you go. Yeah, that looks much better. Obviously, the lines are all thin and shit, but that definitely looks much better. And if we just add some really last minute rendering. But yeah, back to what I was saying. The whole point of this channel is just to show that the level of skill he achieved is not out of grasp. You know, it's very likely I won't have his visual library. You know, I'm not gonna say very likely. It's possible, right? We always want to believe that we can. So it's possible, perhaps, that I won't have his visual library, right, to that depth. It's possible that, what's it called? Maybe my perspective just will never be as good. It's possible. It's possible my line quality may not be as clean. It's possible I'll never understand composition as well as he did. But the basic principles which artwod teaches, and to be honest, most concept artists have these skills, right? Which is drawing from imagination, breaking down shapes, being able to create it into anything you want. That is all extremely within the realm of possibility. Look at someone like Peter Hahn. That's why I respect him so much, because he knows he's not the best, but he also knows that his level of skill is, like, at least I would like to hope he knows that his level of skill is incredibly impressive. And he himself has said, if you watch one of the Proco videos where he talks about drawing from imagination, he says this, like this right here, which you see, it may be nice and all, but there are people who are a million times better than me, and that's amazing. And that's what I want to reiterate, and that's fucking amazing. You know why it's amazing? Because it goes to show there's no limit to art. Absolutely no limit. The only limit is our inevitable demise. Think about it. Think about how much more incredible of an artist Master Kim Jong-il could have been if he had not unfortunately passed away. Just think about that, right? So with that same principle in mind, again, is it Hokusai? There's a quote of his, paraphrasing. He's like, he would have been an amazing artist if only he'd lived a bit longer. And he says that dying as a fucking revered master at like 70 or something. That could have been a bit further back. Something like that. No, that doesn't work. Let's extend this. How much time do I have? Oh my god, it's already been 57 minutes. What in the actual fuckery? That's not bad. Holy shit. Look at the... It might look like the most, and again, the rendering isn't going to help. It might look like such a negligible difference to those watching, for those who are watching, but is this? Yeah, that is where I started. Look at this versus this, right? In my opinion, a much greater understanding of the relationships between in the spatial reasoning going on. This, I'll tell you right now, this is supposed to be further out, because that's supposed to be further out and this is supposed to be further out. I can say that right now, but it already looks much better in my opinion, right? Again, I didn't include the ring If I were to include the ring, maybe that would have been something else. But again, these are just practices in spatial reasoning right now. What the big thing Antonio said is draw as you see it. I drew as I saw it, and then turn it. And now I've just been focusing on internalizing the language, the shape language, and that's turning it, right? But from this to this, again, the rendering is not helping, but I would like to believe there's a drastic difference. And it's hilarious for those who do watch, will be like, he spent fucking 4 hours just to have a slight difference. For me, this is an insane difference because it's my understanding of the spatial reasoning. That's huge for me, right? Like all of this that I went through, it's fucking huge for me. So, yeah, I mean, we have like a minute left. I would like to draw more, but I'm going to be drawing again later today. And that's another shape that I'm going to really focus on breaking down. Well, I'll draw as I see it first in terms of simple shapes, and then I'll break it down again. And then after that, I have to charge my mic, I'm pretty sure, because now I'm drawing essentially twice a day. This shit's going to run out much faster. But, yeah, I don't know. What else should I draw? Maybe I can just practice some lines? Yeah, might as well. Nah. It's a sketchbook. Why even worry about sullying it? I guess we can just do something like this, right? To show it off. Whoa, look at what I drew. It's a fucking it's a circular chair, I guess, right? It's a chair. But this should help with my visual language. Oh, not visual language, visual library. God, this is what happens when you're in design. Fucking everything becomes visual language. All buzzwords, all fucking buzzwords. To be honest, I'm not. So now that I've done releasing my constipation, what I was trying to say was that I have moments being a YouTuber that, oh no, people are gonna see who I am, people are gonna know, right? Because my friends know, but do my friends really give a shit? No, they don't. In fact, they give such a little shit that they don't even believe in me. they can't fathom that I'm doing this because I want to show people what can be done, not because I want to gain anything out of it. Obviously, I want your money, so let's not forget that. I 100% want your money, but that can come when I have a following, you know? And then I will come on that following, so it will be fine. But for the time being, I'm just here to vibe, right? That's what they say. Just here to vibe and learn. What's the perspective here? It's like this. Sure, whatever. Ta-da! Now it looks a lot more impressive than it actually is. But with that being said, I'm not really going to thank anybody for watching because there's nobody watching at this point. So if anything, I'm going to beg people to get to this point, and then I can start thanking them for being a viewer of sorts. Look at all the viewing you've done. Aren't you proud of yourself? But yeah, I mean, I honestly think this was a pretty decent transition. I've learned a lot, and that's huge for me. And again, like I did this while talking, which is it is basically like a minus 40% in terms of ability, because that's very difficult to do. I've come to understand that now. Thank you, Antonio Artwod. But Mr. Antonio, I love that guy. God damn it. If I can meet him, I would just be jerking him off 24/7. Be like, holy shit, thank you so much for creating Artwod, bro. You're a fucking genius. Thank you. We have so much in common. We lift weights. We both have mustaches, bro. Hire me, please. Hire me. God damn it. Take me under your wing as a fucking paid internship for $900,000 a year. I would love it if he could teach me, to be honest. Technically, he is teaching me, but I would just love to draw 24/7. That's what I'm trying to say. But alas, life doesn't allow for such a easy transition. You know, we all gotta work hard, all that gay shit. So what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna complain. But what are you going to do? If you want to complain, please send some money to my Patreon, my Ko-fi, what else? YouTube donations once that gets activated, and we can complain together. But apart from that, keep drawing and please give me money. Goodbye.